I don't know if you heard, but Russell Wilson plays for the Broncos. And what happened to your division in the offseason, Andy?
Well, I knew it was either the Broncos or SC. But while listening to you.
Well,
yeah,
he's great.
He's pretty good. Yeah, good one.
So I want to talk about, I supported, I said, listen, when Tyreek Hill left, I said, I get it. Like, I understand it. And I said, Andy, and I don't know if this is true, but we've seen a stock market bubble. We've seen housing bubbles. We've seen tech bubbles. And I said, are we in a little bit of a wide receiver bubble where the numbers are just going sideways fast? You value the wide receiver, obviously. But when you look at some of these numbers, Andy, do you think to yourself, good Lord, this is out of control?
Yeah, well, you're trying to keep a team together, Colin. I mean, you know how that goes. And if you've got a number of good players, then you've got to be able to budget this cap that we've got. And you just can't keep everyone that you'd like to keep. So that was the case with Tyreek. I mean, he's a heck of a football player and a great career here. He's going to have a great career with the Dolphins. But, you've got to keep a team together. I mean, this is one of the last true team sports that we got going. And it's important that we can keep as many good guys as we can.
One of the great things about Mahomes, to me, Patrick, is coachable, and you can coach him hard. His dad was a pro athlete. He's very realistic. He understands. That's a big benefit, I think. Dad's a pro athlete. For the Manning brothers, they know, they've seen hard coaching. What are you going to do now? Patrick's he's at the top of the food chain here. What are little things, tweaks that Patrick can get better when you watch film?
Yeah, well, listen, playing quarterback is like being a farmer. The work's never done. And so we keep adding things in there for him to do as far as plays go, his technique. He's continuously working on technique, whether it's his feet, drop, throwing motion, reads down the field, all those things. He stays on top of that. And the one great thing about him is he wants you to coach him, like you're saying. He wants you to coach him. He wants you to coach him hard. He wants detail. He wants to be the best in the business that he can be. And for young guys, they say, well, Patrick's great. They don't understand how much work actually goes into that. And young guys, keep working, man. Keep working. It takes time.
When you lose, and by the way, I like Tyreek Hill. I think he tilts the field. I don't think there's a lot of guys out there like him. And my guess was, Kansas City may be a little more power-based this year. They're not going to get maybe as many free over-the-top Tyreek plays, 30-plus plays. You're not going to get those. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you go look at a Sean McVay, his offense is very much power-based. He likes a run game. Kyle Shanahan likes a run game. Should I expect the Chiefs this year, Andy, to be a little more physical? I mean, how does the offense now, how do you tweak it without Tyreek's, Olympic-level speed?
Yeah, well, teams were kind of taking that part and negating that anyways, just with the deep coverages that we were playing. So we were able to do some things underneath with Tyreek and the other guys. Kelsey, obviously, is a pretty good player, too, and McCole Hardman. So we've got these guys coming back that can do that. We added Scantling and Juju in there, and both those two are seasoned veteran players that are very productive. I mean, before Juju got hurt, you're talking about 1,400 yards a year with that guy.
Right.
So he's, you just do it with a little different flavor. What we try to do, Colin, and we try to take the players' strengths and exploit them. And then whatever weaknesses they have, we try to teach them and coach them. And so to turn those into strengths. And so that's what we'll do. It's going to be a little different, but it'll be different with the personalities of the kids that we have now. And they'll write their own little story to this thing.
Your coaching tree is Sean McDermott, John Harbaugh, Doug Peterson. It's substantial. A lot of guys have worked. And you're a humble guy, but there is something. It's not a coincidence, right? And I've always said you're like the really giving teacher. Is that you coach hard on your coaches, you coach hard on your players, but people can take, and this does not work. Phil Jackson's coaching tree, it's not legendary. What do you think what do you do that people can siphon off it, leave you, and succeed? Because it just keeps growing and getting bigger and getting bigger.
Yeah, well, I think Bill Walsh and Paul Brown started the whole thing. I'm just kind of following in their footsteps and a product of they said that we're here to be teachers, and that's what we do. So we're going to teach you, and then for the guys that have ambition to move on like you would do, people that have ambition that want to be better, you're willing to give even a little bit more too. And so I've been fortunate to have those kind of people around me. And I'm willing to share. Now, listen, I want to beat the dog out of them when they go to another team, but I still, it's something that when they're in house here, I'm going to share things with them. And same way with the players that love to play the game. As a coach, you go, hey, listen, I'm going to give you 120% instead of that 110% because you want it and you want to be great.
I defended Ryan Tannehill this week. I said, come on now, he's 34. He's fighting for his life, home playoff loss. I don't think it's a quarterback's job to develop his replacement. But when you say that, everybody goes, boy, what a selfish guy. You had a very unique situation where Alex Smith was literally the perfect mentor for Mahomes. That said, he's a pro athlete. He's a proud guy. Was it a tough situation for you? You knew Mahomes was special, but you want to be respectful of Alex. You know, he's a very capable guy, and he's got great pride. Was it ever tough in that relationship?
No, I told Alex, man, go out and have the greatest year you've ever had. And you don't have to teach Pat. That's not, we're here to do that. As coaches, you're out there to go produce and win games and do the best you possibly can for your team. And so that's the way we approached it with him. Now, Alex by nature, though, was the greatest thing that ever happened to Pat Mahomes. And some people, there are different ways to do this thing, whether you play the player right now or sit him behind a veteran player. Alex was perfect for that. Alex did let Patrick into his world without being forced on it or anything. And he let Patrick in his world. Patrick handled it the right way and didn't step in the way of Alex and what he needed to produce, and had respect for him. So it worked out perfect. I didn't have to say a whole lot other than you go play and go win games for it. Let's go win a championship and do the best you possibly can do at the quarterback position.
Finally, you in the offseason, you are the great play designer. And you're the one guy that's given Belichick trouble his whole career, and he's one of the smartest defensive guys probably ever in the league. And so you sit around and you draw up plays and you figure stuff out. So do you go to YouTube? Do you go to old playbooks? Like what is the high you get when you design something clever and you're like, oh, this is unbelievable. I'm going to fool everybody. I mean, what's that process like?
Yeah, so listen, if you give me a play, Colin, I'm going to run that something. Like if it's any good, it's going in. I'll take plays from anywhere. I've got guys on staff here, the Joe Blameyers and David Girardi. These guys go out and they hunt this stuff up, and they do a great job with it. Corey Matei, these are young guys that just get on that computer and they search and search and search, and they love doing this stuff. And then they bring it to me, and I've got 51% of the vote on it. Listen, if it's good, we're going with it. And then the players, they know how we roll here, and so I tell them they have a laboratory on the field. Go experiment during special teams and that when you're not in. So the quarterbacks, some of the running backs, tight ends, they get over there, whatever receivers are on us, they get over there and they start creating things. And, let your mind go, expand. Let's who said we can't do something, right? I mean, who put the rules down on this thing? So let's try to expand and enjoy the game and all have a piece of it. And I think with that, everybody plays a little bit better. They're more vested in in the team.
Hey, Andy, I'm going to Italy tonight with my wife, and I've never been there before. Are you a world traveler? Have you been to Italy?
You know what? I'm right behind you. I'll be heading over there mid-June. So wow. No, I'm not. But I do like to eat, and they like to cook, and that can be a good combination.
You were right in line with you. I didn't eat the last 2 nights for dinner. I said, I'm going to be eating for 7 days nonstop.
That's right.
You look great. Good luck against your division. It's tough, and can't wait to watch Sky Moore and McDuffie and all your draft picks. Congrats.
All right, Colin. Appreciate you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.